We're gonna open the public meeting. Today is Thursday, January 9th, 2025. It is about 7:37 p.m. I'm going to read the meeting notice. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, this meeting will be conducted in person and as a courtesy via remote means in accordance with applicable law. Please note that while the option for remote attendance and our participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public and board members, the meeting will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless required by law. This meeting will be recorded. Viewers can visit at the local scene.media/Duxbury for information about Duxbury program, including watching replays on Duxbury YouTube. Okay, so we have one matter on the agenda tonight. It's case number 2024-23. Gregory and Kelly Roach. Is it Roach or Roche?
Roach.
Roche, thank you.
Thank you.
At 271 Marshall Street. The applicant proposes to add a screened-in porch onto a pre-existing non-conforming dwelling. A special permit is required. Okay, so
Ready?
if you would like to present.
Sure. Kevin Grady from Grady Consulting.
We don't.
No
bother with the
microphone,
microphone.
so
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good problem. Representing Greg and Kelly for the special permit request. I guess I could read right from, so we met with the design review committee. They were in agreement. They thought the design was appropriate. They also gave a nice little review of the project. They see the lot area is non-conforming. The lot's non-conforming due to area frontage. The requirement's 40,000 square feet of area, 200 square feet of frontage. This site is pre-existing non-conforming. It's 9,147 square feet and has frontage of 83.71. The existing building coverage is 1,244 square feet or 13.6% of the lot. They're proposing 1,542 square feet or 16.9% of the lot, or an increase of 3.3%. See. The existing house is set back 43.7 feet and we're proposed at 37.3. Front yard setback in the RC district is 25 feet, so that's conforming. As you know, under the zoning bylaw section 410.4, we're allowed to get an increase of no more than 15% of the difference between 20,000 square feet and the size of the lot. And we've presented in the plans the math on that and how we comply with that. Of course, the special permit, we have to show that there's not a detrimental impact to the abutters, it fits in harmony, no increase in traffic, issues with utilities, adverse impacts to abutters, etc. On the site plans, see on the left-hand side, this is the existing condition. On the right-hand side, the brown hatching, they're proposing an addition that projects out 9.41 feet and is 35 feet across. During discussion with the design review committee, they suggested that we show the abutting buildings on this site plan to give you a little more scale and comparison to the neighborhood, so you can see how it fits relative to the adjacent houses. That's the plan that I provided you this evening. Just added the abutting house here that you can see is setback 30 feet, and this the proposed structure is 37 feet. See, I also provided some photographs for you and some aerials where you can see the existing buildings on the lots. 271 is the subject parcel. It's in the center of the map there. And 275 and 263 are the abutters. 263 is separated by roadway or a driveway. Both 275 and 263 are located closer to the front lot line than what we're proposing. Both buildings are larger. I believe 275 may even cover more percentage of the lot than what the applicant is proposing. Again, I gave you an aerial photograph version. So I gave you two different views of that. To provide some scale, etc. We provided a table to detail setbacks, coverages, and zoning compliance. I basically read the various coverages. Existing building coverage is 13.6, they're proposing 16.9, an increase of 3.3. And again, here I'm showing that we are within the prescribed limits of the special permit, section 6 point something or other. 410.4, sorry. Architecturally, the house now is basically a flat base colonial. They'd like to put a screen porch on the front. I think it gives it more definition on the front facade. It fits in the middle of the house. It doesn't project closer to any abutters. We don't increase any pre-existing non-conformities. In the applicant's opinion, it's a pretty simple, straightforward project. He doesn't want to have any adverse impacts to the abutters, and he doesn't believe this project will. I think it's pretty straightforward. I'm happy to take questions if you have.
So before we do, I just wanted to add a couple other things to the record. We a letter from the design review board, as the applicant stated. They said they had no objection to the proposed special permit request. But the board feels the proposed increase in coverage of building footprint is not detrimental to the neighborhood, and the porch enhances the aesthetic of the existing two-story colonial. As it's listed, the existing house is further set back than the neighbor's house. The porch will make the front of the house more in line with the streetscape on the west side of Marshall Street. There's also a letter from the planning board, unanimously deferring judgment to the Board of Appeals. A memo from the conservation administrator, indicating that the matter does not fall within the jurisdiction of the Conservation Commission, and no further review is in that office. And at the 11th hour, we received an email from Mark Berry, who is a resident at 275 Marshall Street, abutting the subject property here. The email states that I plan to attend tonight's meeting by Zoom because I'm out of town, but I'm concerned that my comments could be lost in case of technical difficulties. I offer the following in objection to the applicant's request for a special permit. Number one, applicant's engineer has calculated the square footage increase for the proposed addition correctly, but the application materially understates the percent increase in lot coverage if the proposal is allowed to go ahead. He offers a algebraic equation, which concludes that there's a 24% increase in lot coverage. Number two, he states, while the board can allow the increase by special permit, the requested 24% increase in lot coverage is excessive, and applicant offers nothing to mitigate the proposed increase in coverage, let alone mitigate the existing nonconformity. And finally, number three, he states that the applicant says the architect has designed the porch to be in harmony with the character of the neighborhood. Mr. Berry disagrees. and states the proposed design is more Denver than Duxbury. I recognize the board's purview does not include design, however, and only ask for consideration of applicant's request without any weight given to the neighborhood harmony or lack thereof in the design. Thank you, Mark Berry.
Could I make a comment on that letter?
Yes.
The math is incorrect that he proposed.
Okay,
He used he used the math calculation to do the percentage of the existing house and the proposed coverage, and that's not how lot coverage is calculated. I just ran it myself to double check everything.
Mhm.
It's actually a 3.25% increase in coverage.
okay, thank you.
He used the wrong divising number. He should have divided the difference by the lot area of the lot. And he divided it by the existing house coverage.
Okay.
So that's why that looks like it's 24. It's not, though. It's really 3.25.
The math is on the increase in the house size only. It doesn't relate to the lot coverage, right, which is what we are with the zoning bylaws contemplating.
Right, and you come up with 3.3, but Jim, you're coming up with 3.25.
It's plus or minus.
We rounded up.
Yeah, I rounded it up.
Okay.
It's right on. I double checked all of that.
Okay. One thing that I noticed that I don't believe I see in the packet is, has the Board of Health chimed in on this yet? No. Okay,
You could do it now.
How about that?
Well, the additions on concrete, footings, so although the tank is less than 10 feet, it's not a foundation, so Title V doesn't, they don't want you to build over a tank, but as long as it's,
I actually showed it to Tracy this morning.
yeah, she told me and she somehow missed it, probably with the holidays, but
She said it looked fine. though.
yeah,
okay, so Board of Health chiming in isn't necessary because it's not a full foundation, it's on pilings, is that,
correct.
okay? Fair enough. I don't know if we need to note for the record that we do have that we have a completed application. I know Wayne always does make note of that. I mean,
It is complete.
yeah, it
Yeah,
appears.
it is signed by
I
the
reviewed
owner
it.
and completely filled out, so.
Appears to be
yeah.
complete.
Is it a requirement in the bylaw that they have to be over the 15%? Originally, in order to be able to increase above it?
No,
No,
No?
no,
no,
Remember on Friendship Lane, we determined that they weren't over. They weren't able
I
to.
can't remember Friendship Lane from the top of my head, but that subject, I'm familiar with what
Okay.
you're getting at, but no, the bylaw basically says if you've got a lot less than 20,000 square feet, you can ask by an increase of the difference of the lot in 20,000 at 3%.
Actually, I think the lot was more than
I think
20,000
it was.
and
They were over.
they said they were over because they included that overhang.
That's right.
But they weren't.
Yeah,
Okay.
so we are over the 3% here, yeah,
no,
no, we're at 3.3%.
no, that's the percentage of increase in coverage.
Yeah.
But they are, if you maxed out what the coverage would be, they're 155.64 square feet less than maxing out that 3%,
Okay, thank you.
the proposed design.
I always need help with the math. So,
We've looked at it 3 different ways so far, so it's easy to.
I think that letter indicated that it's not in our purview to consider the aesthetics of the project, but it actually is. And
the
I can
harmony,
picture a house down not far from this that has the same kind of facade on the front porch.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd agree with Freeman. This is Boris. I think it's fitting. It's a beachy type cottage look, which fits right into the area. They'll enjoy a nice breezy, hopefully sunny morning with it. I think it's appropriate.
is there anybody on the wall? I understand Mr. Berry said he was gonna try to be here virtually.
He's on.
Okay.
Oh, good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to address the board. Mike, I'll start with just a housekeeping detail. The house is 24% bigger than it was. I wasn't commenting on the coverage, just that it's a big increase in the house footprint. I agree with the conclusion that the proposed design does improve the aesthetics of the existing house. I just don't think it's particularly appropriate for the neighborhood, but I guess neither here nor there. But Design Review Board said it's okay. I don't have any further objections.
Thank you. And there's Max Coppola.
He's with, me.
He's with you.
He's Max in training.
Got it. Okay. So. Do we have any questions of the applicants?
I don't have any questions. My only question was for Jim, and he's already preempted it and answered it, that the math works. It's, I always defer to his judgment on that. Just to double check, not that I don't trust what's been done, trust but verify.
Understood.
That's you doing the homework ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'd like to just say that I appreciate how thorough the presentation and the materials are. It's very helpful to have overlay in the map, and so thank you for doing that.
To not have something presented on a cocktail napkin. We've seen it.
So if there aren't any other questions, I would entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor? Hi, Tanya.
Aye, Phil.
Hi, Boris.
All right, hearing is closed. What say you guys?
I think this is one of the more straightforward cases we've seen in quite a while.
Refreshing.
I think this is why, I think this is why we have this bylaw.
Hmm.
Exception to the bylaw to increase coverage, and I think it also aesthetically, it adds more depth to the house than just having a flat wall so close to the street.
Yeah, I think it'll be an attractive addition to the house and nice addition to the neighborhood, and probably a nice place to sit on a hot afternoon and have something cold. That's the idea. Thank you.
Boris, do you have anything to add?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I will entertain a motion with regard to approval of the special permit that's requested.
So moved.
Second,
Great, all those in favor? Hi, Tanya.
Aye, Phil.
by Freeman.
Hi, Boris.
All right, you got it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
For one meeting.
But yeah, I second what Tanya said. Thank you for the thorough presentation and great deal of information. Very helpful. I appreciate that as well. Thanks.
That's all we have.
Thanks so much.
Because the meeting minutes, both of you weren't there, so.
Okay, so we can't vote on that.
Okay.
All right, so would somebody like to move to adjourn?
So moved.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Hi, Boris. Good night, everybody. Thank you.